I always thought in the back of my head that cops could come and shut this down. And if they did, I would want to be shooting behind like this bush so that they don't see me. Well, that's what I was doing for Kyle. I'd get behind this bush. I was still able to get the jump, but I got lazy when it came to Colby's jump. I didn't hide behind a bush, out in the open, and sure enough, two cops are coming different directions, coming at him, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I got nervous.
What's up, everybody? Clint Esposito here with another crazy action sports story. Today, well, I'm just shooting the intro from Broome, Tioga. You can see it right behind me. But today's story is actually from Schweitzer. It's a highlight from Two Wheel Tuesday podcast, number 37, eventually turned into Two Wheels to Freedom podcast. If you don't realize, Schweitzer is the videographer behind On the Pipe series. He also did all the Moto Triple X's, and basically any big Red Bull film or video back in the day. The Great Ride Open, Ride to the Hills, all the quarter pipe stuff with Doug Parsons. Schweitzer is basically the videographer for all of that. So this story is actually about them filming for one of the On the Pipes. Colby Raha jumps the train and the train trestle. Well, he didn't jump the train. You'll see why. He jumps the train trestle. They were going to go over a train, but guess what happens? Cops showed up. So Jay explains the whole situations, cops showing up, and how he actually escapes. I won't give you it's brilliant. I'm not going to give it away. You got to watch, see what he does to actually escape that and get out of there, and not get arrested. That's it. And make video history. So I hope you guys enjoy this week's Crazy Action Sports Story. My name is Clint Esposito. I did freestyle motocross for 16 years. During that time, I met some amazing people and had some wild adventures. This is Crazy Action Sports Story.
I showed Colby a rough cut of On the Pipe 7, and it had my historical train jump section ending with Kyle. And Colby goes, I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit that. I'm like, you are not, dude. I'm like, shut the fuck up. And he's like, no, I'm serious, dude. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, dude, I'm telling you now, I'm going back to hit. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Let me know when it happens. And Colby goes back out there and has one dude filming on an iPhone, and he sends it over an actual train. And I see it on the internet, and I'm like, I call him up, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you know I'm doing this historical section on this old train jump, and now you just go and do it? He's like, well, let's go back. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go back. I mean, it's only 20 minutes from my parents' house here, so I'm like, yeah, let's go. So we go out there, and this time I was a little bit more, I guess I wasn't really paying attention, and I always thought in the back of my head that cops could come and shut this down. And if they did, I would want to be shooting behind like this bush so that they don't see me. Well, that's what I was doing for Kyle. I'd get behind this bush. I was still able to get the jump, but I got lazy when it came to Colby's jump. I didn't hide behind a bush, out in the open, and sure enough, we're waiting for the train to come. I see the train on its way. I yell to him, like, train, and Colby fires up his bike, and right before the train gets there, like maybe a minute and a half before the train gets there, two cops are coming from different directions, coming at him, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I got nervous, and like kind of ducked down behind my camera, didn't even shoot it, because I'm like, oh, fuck. What am I going to do? Well, luckily my drone guy got the shot. My drone guy got the only shot of the cops trying to block him. Colby goes around him and sends it right in front of the cops after they try to block him.
So who got the video of him going past the cop cars?
This story of what he could.
My drone guy. That's a drone shot.
That was from the drone?
Wait, so did he escape the cops by jumping over the freeway? Was he then, or the train? Was he then on the other side and they couldn't get to him?
Mm-hmm. So
that's the coolest story I've ever heard.
Yeah, you think that's cool? Wait till you hear the next part. That's like only half of the cool part. So after he gets to the other side, now the cops can't get to him because you can't drive in across the tracks. So he bolts out. Colby was at least smart, and he parked his truck like a mile away, and he boned out. Okay, so now I've got my two filmers. I have a drone guy and another guy. He's kind of on the takeoff. So there's a total of 3 of us that were filming this. My other 2 filmers, they hiked out to the 118 freeway. They're gone. Now I'm in plain sight on
with
the
a big camera
bridge as the takeoff lip, and the cops had. If you watch the video, and you'll see it when we play in a second, they had kind of tried to circle around him to stop him. So now one of the cops gets out of the car. And he goes, he's like, camera guy on the hill. And I'm just like, didn't know what to do. I'm like, oh, fuck, you know? And so then, luckily, the other cop said, he's like, no, let's go after the rider. Both of them bone out. They go after Colby, try to catch him. Colby's long gone. At that point, I knew that I had a very minimal amount of time to get away. So I've got a big tripod, a big red camera, a big lens. What do? I collapse it down like the tripod, make it smaller. I pick this heavy thing up, as quick as I could. I jog down the hill, across the street. I take the camera off the tripod. I find this huge bush. I take the camera, the tripod, stash it under this bush, cover it all up with a bunch of leaves and bushes and branches and all this stuff. I cover it all up. I take off my hat, my shirt, my shoes, my glasses. Not my shoes, excuse me. Take off my hat, my glasses, my shirt, and I transform into Jogger J. Okay? Yeah, that's right, dude. I transform into Jogger J.
So this camera that you put leaves all over is like a $60,000 camera? You're like, fuck it, I need to get away from the cops.
Like 100. Probably like 100.
Nice.
Like 100. It was a huge risk, dude, to just stash it there.
Yeah.
And leave it there and transform into this guy pretending to be Jogger J, a jogger. Like it's just one of those things that like you think of on the fly. You're like, this is it. This is my only chance to escape. So basically, at that point, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking jog towards my fucking truck, and hopefully the fucking cops, are gone looking for Colby. So I start jogging, like getting this fucking jog, like. And sure enough, I go up about 200, 300 yards, and then the cops are pulled at this inlet looking for him. There's like one little spot you can go in towards the tracks. Like vehicles kind of going towards the tracks, and they're looking for him. Like, oh, fuck. I got to go by these guys to get to where, because I had parked a little bit a ways down there just in case something like this happened. So I'm like, fuck. I'm jogging right past the cops. I'm like, do I look at him? Do I not look at him? And have you ever been like stopped at like a traffic light and like, you're just kind of just like waiting and you're like, you know what? I feel like the car next to me is like looking at me. You know what I mean? That feeling that you get? So
yeah.
I felt like the cop was looking at me. So I'm like, all right. I was like, I'm going to fucking look at him, So I look over at him and I'm like, well, what's going on over there? And he's looking right at me. And he's like, mind your own business. We're looking for a suspect. I'm like, all right. Jogging right past the cop. Jog right in about another 300 yards. Get to my truck. Hop in my truck. Call my boys at. I'm like, J.O., where are you at? He's like, we're by the 118 freeway. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we hiked out here. I'm like, drop me a pin. I'll pick you up. Drop me a pin. Picked him up. They got in. They came back around, not to right where the jump was. And now I see the cops. The cops are back where I was looking for me, where I was filming the jump. And they're looking for me. Now we're staking out the cops. All right? Waiting for those guys to leave. We waited for probably like 25
camera, right?
Seriously. It's like 25 minutes. They finally leave. All right? And then I told my buddy J.O., I'm like, all right, you're driving. And I was like, told my other buddy Darren, move over. All my camera shit's going right here. I had a coma. I was like, I'm gonna put it all right here in the bed. They pull up next to the bush, grab my camera, grab my tripod, throw it in the back, drove off. Everybody gets away. Boom. End of story.
That's awesome.
I did not have a GoPro on the whole time.
If I would have had a GoPro on for Jogger Jay, it's one of the most legendary things I've ever done. Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's see the rest
That's
of the video then.
Yeah, put the rest on.
A promising up-and-coming free rider wanted to make his own mark among his idols. As a tribute to the late Tracy Monterone, Colby Raha painted his bike all chrome as he prepared to fulfill the Simi Valley train jump legacy. At 22 years of age, Raha shocked the industry with his massive quarter-pipe airs, natural train flips, technical wall rides, and upside-down whips. Anticipating the arrival of the train, Raha and cinematographers awaited patiently. However, due to the recent attempt by Kyle Katsandris, authorities would seek to stop any future attempts. Within moments of the train's arrival, police attempted to block Raha. With an arrest imminent, Raha was faced with the decision of going to jail or going for glory.
He had to jump it.
I had a clean shot at it, so I just went for it, hit it.
We could have got arrested.
He had to jump it, or he was going to get arrested.
Yeah, exactly.
Jail or coma.
And I was on the other side of the tracks, and they couldn't really catch me. I just boned out.
Boned out.
But I like to do a party.
Tracy Monterone was the first guy to hit it. He recently died, and then I'm hitting the jump he first hit, and that was just like paying homage to him.
Daredevils such as these.
Now, if you look at this
risk their
next
lives
shot,
for the
you can
respect
see
of
me
their
on the
peers,
ridge down
with
the right, the
uncertainty
little
of ever
black
receiving
dot.
a paycheck.
That's
Right
where
here?
I was. Yeah, that's me. Yep.
What, down
So-
by that bush
so I
there?
Others
jogged
need to put
down
food
that
on the
hill
table.
right there, stashed into the bush. Yeah. So, anyways, that's a pretty good one, huh?
That was awesome, dude. That with the story, that was a highlight.